Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode number 37 of the Super Bowl podcast. My name is Braden Dorman, alongside me, David Arnold and Harper Houck. And today we have a special guest from the GCU baseball team, a man that has been very well connected to a couple of our past guests and a good friend of Harper here, with Mr. Brock Toney. Welcome in, man. Hey, we're excited to have you. Baseball season's not quite here, but There's never a bad time to talk about baseball, and the World Series just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Harper, tell me about Brock. I mean, he's a new guest here. What do we need to know about him before we get into this?
Yeah. So, to be honest, me and Brock haven't known each other for very long, but our first interaction, the podcast actually came up. And it was Monty. It was Monty, one of our past guests.
Shout out Monty
connected. Yeah, he's been one of the two guests that's come on twice. And he just connected us, and he was like, very beginning, like he was like, yeah, I want to come on the podcast one day.
Let's go.
And so pretty much from there, we have just been getting to know each other, being able to be in the same community of FCA and get to know some of the same people, and it's been cool to walk alongside him, and now we're here, so I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And he's our second ever ginger on the podcast.
No,
That's pretty cool.
For today's sports segment, it's kind of been kept from us a little bit, which is exciting, but David's going to be the host, and he's always great at it.
Oh, I appreciate that. I don't know if you're trying to, get some points you're going your way or what, but all right, folks. So we've been keeping up with the times, keeping up with the trends. We see this thing called blind rankings. So we figure, why not give it a shot with these two guys? Because Harper and I know nothing about baseball, and we're gonna go MLB here. We're going MLB stadiums that you would want to play in. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
So we're blind ranking. If people who don't know how it works, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And definitely play along with us at home. But I'm going to give them 5 stadiums. They have no idea which one's coming next, but they have to rank them like they do. So pretty simple. Let's dive right in. They're each going to be ranking their own, so it'll be a nice little competition here. Comment down below who wins.
Will we have an upset? The visitor defeating the home.
I mean,
the home crowd.
I don't know if there's ever like an actual winner, but maybe there will be something obvious where
maybe we could vote, put up a poll on Instagram.
Yeah, we
or
could
something.
put up a poll.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, here we go, folks. Let's dive in. We're gonna start with Comerica Park.
Okay.
The Tigers, Detroit Tigers,
Yeah.
home field.
Yeah. I mean, like, playing at all MLB stadiums would be cool, but that is just not one that I want to play.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got some cool features. It's got that walkway to the mound. It's the only stadium to have that.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go, 4.
4.
Okay, 4.
4 spots locked in.
There's, one more I can think of that I wouldn't want to play at.
Oh.
I wonder if that shows
So you have to
up.
be strategic. Here.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, right as you mentioned that, I was like, all right, I need to start thinking about what my top ones would be so I can leave those spots if I need to. But
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about one that I don't want to play at, but this is one of them. So, of course, I want to play at all of them, right? That'd be great. But, just not a pretty park, in my opinion. Not a pretty city either.
Whoa.
And
Shots fired.
yeah.
I think I'm going to put it at 5, honestly.
Okay.
It's down there.
So
Risky
you gotta
move
go up
at
from here.
5. Yeah, gotta go up.
That's risky.
Yeah.
All right. Second one, Coors Field, Colorado Rockies.
This is brutal. Okay, if I'm a pitcher, or am I a pitcher or hitter?
I mean,
what are we gonna go?
Your
Do it from your
position,
point of view, man.
Yeah.
You're a pitcher.
Let's go pitcher, and that's going to be number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes
yeah.
You want to explain why?
Mile high, the ball flies further. Like, they put the ball in a humidifier, but it just doesn't work. The walls are super long.
Tigers Park.
The view's pretty cool, and the stadium's nice. It's not one of my favorites, and I don't really want to play there. Like, I would want to play there, but
I can completely understand that answer from a pitcher. From a commoner, I mean, I think it's a pretty park. Balls do fly, which is fun for me. I think I'm going to put it at 3.
Okay.
Ooh.
This is interesting. I mean,
3 and 5, 4 and 5.
I mean, we have I wrote down these 5 kind of randomly, so who knows? It could be the best 5, could be the worst 5. So this could get fun. Next one, Minute Maid Park, the Houston
my gosh.
Astros.
I played there.
Oh, we got a story time here.
Roof open.
Wow.
First ever college innings at Central Missouri.
No way.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
We played Tampa, who won the D2 World Series, and I was in the dugout. It's like the second inning. We're getting beat like 4-0. First game of the year. I didn't even have my cleats on. I was like, they're the #1 team in the nation. I'm not pitching against them. I'm a freshman. Second inning, they're like, Brock, go down the bullpen. I was like, heart's racing. I got like an inning to warm up. I'm running in, and the only thing I remember is I'm running, but I'm not going anywhere. So I'm probably like jogging, and I probably start dead sprinting. It's what it felt like. And I was like, man, this mound is so far away. Yeah, but it was pretty cool. The roof was open that night. Good sunset. Like, I didn't do great, but it was a great experience.
That's
So,
awesome.
That is really cool. I did not
Have
obviously
you
expect
played
that.
at any other parks?
I think I've played at Kaufman. I'm not sure, but I've definitely been on the field at Kaufman.
Okay. Kansas City, right?
Yep, Kansas City. So, yeah. Minute Maid's #2. It's a beautiful ballpark. Definitely recommend go see a game there.
Cool.
Okay. So I got 5 and 3 down. I just hate the Astros, so I'm gonna go with 4.
It's getting personal from
I
a
don't
team
like the
perspective.
Astros at all.
Yeah.
It's a cool park, but I'm just banking on 2 more that you like,
All right.
that I like.
Yeah. You better hope so, I guess, huh? Next one. Wrigley Field.
That
The
hurt.
Cubbies.
That hurts as a Cardinals fan.
Ooh.
Oh.
Great stadium. Second oldest, right? Behind Fenway?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, beautiful park. Love it there. It's going at #3. Just the ivy on the wall is cool. It just gets really cold. Great stadium.
All
I
right.
just hate the Cubs.
You're holding out for something, man. You're really holding out for one.
You have to go
For
to
me, it's a bucket list park for me to go to. The Wrigley or the outfield wall is pretty cool at Wrigley. The bleachers in the outfield is pretty cool, and just the atmosphere and surrounding the stadium, the village out there.
And the history.
I've heard is cool, and obviously the history. So I'm gonna put it at 1. That's one of my
Okay.
top 2 parks I'd like to go to.
If I'm not a Cardinals fan, that's going at #1. I just can't. I hate the Cubs.
And
You did the same.
I just
with
did the same
Astros,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
So-
thoughts from Harper?
Yeah, I would love to hear your expertise, Halk.
Sounds like these guys know what they're talking about. I'm gonna defer to their judgment.
Oh, great. What a media trained answer there. All right, so before we do this, what number do you have that it's being put? Like it. So
I got
1
1.
and 2.
I got 2.
Okay, here we go. Your #1, your #2, Chase Field,
Chase
Arizona
Field.
Diamondbacks. Now,
Not ideal.
yeah, I mean, hey, they got a pool.
They
You
do
know,
have a pool.
that's something. I know,
Yeah.
I know you're playing, not swimming, but
When the roof's open, it looks really good.
yeah.
It's a cool park, yeah. It gets clowned on a little bit just for being a bit older in some areas, but it's a really cool park. And I mean, even when the roof is closed, I think it's a cool atmosphere in there. And but as you mentioned, once the summer comes through and those late September games with the roof coming back open, man, it's some cool nights. And I'm cool having it at 2 for me, I think. Minute Maid, throw that way back there for me. And coming from a guy, I worked at Chase Field.
Yeah,
I'm pretty cool
yeah.
having that at 2.
You've been there quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, at Harper, we've been there too.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, from my limited baseball experience, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
It's dope. I love it.
I don't mind having it at 1. The World Series was here last year, and
Yeah.
it didn't look bad on TV.
No, I went to a playoff game last year. It was electric. It was awesome. No problems there.
Same, yeah, good.
If
I'm happy.
yeah.
I'm happy with mine.
we'll have
Not
to,
mad.
yeah, we'll have to put the list in order for
See
the
what the people
viewers.
think.
But
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
see.
I mean, all right. I mean, Harper and I really couldn't,
I concur.
share our
Hey, that's cool.
2
You've
cents.
been to one of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There you
made
go.
sure to
Yeah,
add
cool.
one that we've actually been to, so we
Have
can
you been
at
to
least
any
talk about
others?
I don't think so. I
There
think
you
I had
go.
a chance to go to a Braves game, but
Oh,
it. I have been to a Braves game.
I like-
It was-
I like Truist
Was it
Park.
the
Sure, this
older
is awesome.
older park or the new one?
I think it was the newer one because it was the last couple of years.
Okay.
So I don't
Yeah.
know how old the stadium is.
Oh yeah, it's,
Couple
the
years.
ballpark.
yeah, it is nice. I like it.
Yeah, I'd like to go there.
Yeah.
How many of these 5 have you been to?
Probably not
2.
many.
I've been to Minute Maid
Have you?
and Chase.
I've been 3. What was the other ones?
Coors?
I haven't been to Wrigley.
Comerica,
You've been to
I haven't
Coors?
been-
Coors,
I have been to Coors, yeah.
Okay.
Wrigley, Chase, and
It's
Minute
not
Maid,
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how I haven't been to Coors. It feels like it's close, but
It-
I guess
yeah.
you still got to fly into Denver. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be there soon.
I
hopefully.
felt like Coors would be cool, but I didn't even think about the pitcher perspective there. Cause,
Oh,
yeah. That
it was a
makes
nice
a lot
loop.
of sense.
It was a nice
Yeah.
change up there.
Yeah.
Curveball.
Well, all right. Well, there's round one.
right.
We got one more here, folks. This time we're gonna take it to a personal level. We're gonna break players. So
Just players.
players,
Just like
current players,
positionless. It's
Yep,
like every
yeah, I mean,
could be anybody.
5 random players. So we are ranking, folks.
Current players.
Current players, to my understanding, to my limited knowledge.
We're gonna tag them.
Do what? Oh yeah,
We're gonna tag
that would be
tag the players.
that might get interesting, folks. So, all right, we ready to roll? I don't know who took game 1, but we got game 2.
I think you got game 1.
I think you
Yeah.
should start because he started last
Yeah,
round.
I like that. I like that. Okay.
Again,
Okay.
just want final parameters. They're current MLB players.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like
As far as
99%
he
sure.
knows.
99%.
I'm just waiting
sure.
for him to put Dustin on there.
Dustin Critch.
Oh, that's a good call.
He's
actually.
number 1
I
for
might have
me.
to edit the
Yeah.
list, but okay. Well, we'll start out with a Mariner. Julio Rodriguez. Where are we ranking him?
Okay, and this is based off of being good at baseball.
Yeah, 1 being the best, 5 being the least best.
Okay, well, you wanted to go right at my heartstrings here. I'm a Mariners fan, obviously. Love Julio, great guy, great energy,
Very curious.
good baseball player. I'm waiting for him to be a great baseball player, though.
Really?
I really am. And coming
Okay.
from a guy who watches 150 out of 162 games a year, the dude could be a bit more clutch for me. You know, there are guys that carry people in the playoffs. Toney just took the Dodgers from getting swept by the Diamondbacks to a World Series. I'd like Julio to just take that step and get a good pitching staff into the playoffs. He hasn't been able to do that the last 2 years. So
Yeah.
he had a couple injuries, but I think the world of Julio. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer at some
Dude,
point. But
you
I'm
are
going to go.
milking this so much. This is
We're going with
hilarious.
number 2.
Okay. You act like you're going to put him at 5. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
he good, but he ain't great. You know?
Well,
Uh,
you
Yeah.
would think I'd put him at 1, but
yeah.
I'm going to put him at 2.
Okay.
I was expecting number 1.
Yeah.
No doubt. He's pretty good. I would agree. He's not great yet. I have him at 3. He's pretty good. Like, I'm not a Mariners fan. Yeah, I just don't really watch Julio, and the fact that they were 10 games up.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it to you. 10 games up, best pitching staff in baseball, and they didn't even make the playoffs. That shows that you cannot hit.
All right.
So,
Well,
I like that. I
Any
like that.
response?
But I mean,
The Mariner fan?
I know.
we know it was going to get personal, folks.
I know.
I warned you.
but
You
it
set
is
that up pretty well.
it is 1 through 9. It's not just him, and he did have a decent season. So, I would put him as a top 25 player right now.
Yeah, agreed.
So a lot of confidence. There's going to be 2 players better than
I hope
Julio.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, your guess is as good as mine here. Even though it's blind and I can see it, it's still blind to me because I don't really know. The second player, Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo.
The Yankee. I remember him as a Cub.
Me too.
That's about it.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if that means he's fallen off any or
Yeah.
what, but
Oh, I feel like I'm going to disrespect him here with this ranking.
it is current. By the way,
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to go 4. Obviously a legend for the Cubs. When he was with the Cubs, he'd probably be a top 2 or 3 guy. Blind ranking, hoping you go with some better guys, but I'm just going to count on a guy that's playing better than him right now, and then hopefully a superstar at 1. So we go Rizzo at 4, but he's a good 4.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple great postseason runs
Mm-hmm.
these past couple of years. This year, not one of his best. Didn't play great. Kind of got overshadowed a little bit by Gleyber Torres and Volpe in that last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put him at 4. I don't like the Cubs at all. So,
Got
That's
an
what he's
agreement.
known for.
Yeah.
Cubs
Okay.
World Series.
All right. Another World Series guy coming up here at number 3. Freddie Freeman. Free Money Freeman is what I call him.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I just love him as a Brave. I wish he was still on the Braves, actually, but,
Yeah, this is tough.
is it?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1 for Freddie. I was between 1 and 3 for my options. And Freddie's, may have had an off year, a weird year for him. He had to spend a lot of time with his son who was sick this season.
Yeah.
And for him to come back and absolutely ball out in the playoffs, especially the World Series. I think he got World Series MVP last night.
Yep.
We're recording this night after the World Series. Freddie just rakes, man. He rakes wherever he goes. Really good guy and Hall of Famer.
Free money.
Put him at 1 for me.
Yeah, 6 World Series games in a row with a home run. That's never
That
been done
is
before.
wild.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the walk-off in Game 1.
Oh,
walk-off
man.
grand slam.
That was nuts.
Yeah, that was nice. I have him at 1 as well. If he ended his career today, he would definitely be a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He's very good.
Okay.
With the Braves, I'm kind of sad he left the Braves.
Yeah,
Same.
me too.
I like that
Same.
team. Him, Acuna,
Oh,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Max Fried.
Yeah, it was a good team.
They're fun to watch.
I even watched a little bit of them, so yeah.
Big
That
Braves guy.
says something. I do own a Braves
Big
t-shirt.
Smokies guy.
Yeah, let's smoke. Now that's where we can
I've
get
been to
behind.
5 of those games.
You've been to 5?
Yeah.
Man, all right. There you go.
Okay, so you got 5 and 2 left, and
Yeah,
I have
5 and 2.
5 and 3. Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Fourth
Oh,
player,
boy.
Harrison Bader,
Harrison
Golly.
Bader.
the New York Met, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is now. Yeah, they're center fielder sometimes. I'll put him at 5 purely because he's not better than Rizzo. Yeah, that's my only reason, I suppose.
Yeah, he's at 5. He had 1 or 2 good years with the Cardinals. Just an average player. Nothing special. Like, I think the other 3 people on the list so far are definitely better than him. So, yeah, he's going at 5.
The first 3 are probably at least 1 or 2 are considered Hall of Fame right
Yeah.
now, and then 1 is a surefire Hall of Famer. So
Yep.
Yeah.
definitely levels.
Good talent here. All right, so what's left here? 3?
2.
3
I
and
got
2?
2.
I got 3.
Okay.
Gonna come down to this.
And here's the last guy. I mean, he's one of my favorites actually.
Oh, boy.
Akil Baddoo.
Akil
the,
Baddoo.
the Tiger. Oh man, shout out to Braden Hansen. I know he likes him. My roommate's a Tigers fan. I decide to watch every once in a while, and he seems to do well when he's actually called up to play.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess that's going to be number 3 and 2 here. So,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping maybe I could bait you guys into putting Freeman at 2 and then leaving your 1 for the last spot.
yeah,
Freddie
And
Freeman's very good ball
yeah,
player.
but this World Series has helped his stock quite.
he made. Freeman was a consideration at least. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, Akil Baddoo is probably number 5.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and he's going to end
number
up at was it 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oof.
that's a toughie.
Better than Julio, huh? You really think so?
I mean, no chance.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, hey, that's the game, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how you do it.
that's something. There you go.
Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate
course.
the help here.
Yeah.
Akil Baddoo, I was not expecting him.
Yeah,
last name.
I just
I didn't think you had that.
yeah.
That's a deep pull.
I didn't know you had that
Pull.
dog in you.
Yeah. It's only because my roommate's a huge Tigers guy, and he will kind of be like, hey, I like his name. Baddoo is awesome.
That's
So,
probably the main reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just like, I like this guy, and so I kind of followed him, and it's been quite the journey.
He's fun to watch. He's fast.
Yeah,
You got a
Gets on
cannon.
base.
yeah,
You have any nicknames for Akil Baddoo? Just off the dome.
I don't. I think his last name's awesome, so that's where I go.
Baddoo Badome.
Interesting. I haven't got that far yet. See, I don't keep up that much.
You're a
we're on
fan, but you're not a big
we're,
fan.
we're not
right?
we're not on a nickname basis. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Right.
You're not
I
on a
guess-
J-Rod basis.
Right. Yeah.
I was hoping we'd get like a Paul Goldschmidt in there, like
Oh,
Yeah.
former Diamondback.
Goldie.
number
Yeah,
2.
I like him. He's a dog.
all right. Well, cool. That was a fun one. Hopefully, you guys are following along with us. I guess we'll see if you guys' rankings were comparable to ours. I don't think we're too crazy or too far off. Let us know who had the best rankings, best blind rankings. And with that, let's get into your story, Brock. You played baseball your whole life, I would imagine.
Yep.
And you get to the collegiate level, which has got to be a huge accomplishment. A lot of hard work that's led to that.
Oh, yeah.
We want to talk about your GCU career. It's got to be a great place to play. I know you love your teammates. We talked a bit before we turned the mics on about just the community that you guys have built here. But first off, can you just tell us how you got into baseball and everything that's led you to this moment here? And we're just excited to hear about it, man.
Yep. Got into baseball. My parents put me in baseball when I was like 3. I don't remember. It's been
Youngin. Wow.
a long time ago.
Out the womb.
Yeah.
You playing
basically.
like t-ball at that point, or yeah?
Yeah,
I don't know
usually.
if I'm playing or if I'm like playing in the dirt. I don't know what I'm doing.
Picking your nose.
Maybe that.
Wiffle ball, maybe. Yeah.
Man, 3 years old. Yeah, that seems crazy. Yeah, and then just worked my way up in high school. Don't really remember much about high school except sophomore year got canceled. Junior year, first game on varsity. This is killer, but 105 pitches, 13 strikeouts. It might be my best like ever pitching performance. Didn't allow a hit till the 7th inning, and then it was walk, double, walk, got yanked. We're up 4-0. It's now 4-1. Next guy comes in, 4 straight balls. It's 4-2. Next guy comes in, double right center. We throw the guy out at home plate, so it's 4-4. We went on a suicide squeeze and didn't get the win.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. But junior year was great. Went to the state championship. I started the state championship, even though we had a dude who was committed to Vanderbilt at the time and ended up getting drafted in the 3rd round. Yeah, he's not bad. He came in and got the save and closed it out for me. Definitely couldn't have done it without him. Senior year, junior year I was like 80 to 82, nothing special. They were probably – actually I have a dude who went to Central Missouri with me. He was on that team. He was like, we were not prepared for you. Like, we were expecting 96, 98.
Right.
We got 80, 82. So, yeah, it wasn't great. And then I don't know what happened, but I started, like, I guess taking it seriously after that. And I gained 12 miles an hour, which, if you know baseball, that's,
man.
unheard of.
In the off season, like from junior to senior year?
Into the summer to the beginning of senior year. And my coach was like, what'd you do? And I was
Who
like,
are you?
I have no idea.
So you have no clue how you gain
No.
balls per hour.
I just like
Wow.
Maybe a
didn't-
little puberty involved?
maybe didn't gain any weight. I looked the exact same. I
Really?
just like started throwing more. Went and worked
Wow.
out with the dude who threw 96 to 98 and like watched him.
Hey,
That
maybe.
Might have helped.
Yeah.
Senior year, nothing special about senior year really. Committed to Central Missouri. Started getting interest really late. So that was not ideal, but like that is my story. And
Yeah.
first year of college, got there. It was good. I loved the pitching coach. I knew the pitching coach. He worked at the place I worked out at. The guys were cool at the beginning of the year, and then the pitching coach decided to leave at semester, and it was like, okay, like we're getting a GA as our pitching coach. Started on Saturday for the first 3 games after I got hit around in Tampa.
Yep.
So yeah, that was overall good experience. Played really bad the rest of the year. Just had no pitching coach, no one to go talk to. And I was like, I'm done with baseball. Like, I'm going to quit. Came home crying to my dad, and I'm not a crier. And that was like an hour of just like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to play baseball. I just want to go like hang out with my friends and be a normal college student. And then like whatever day the portal ended, I called my coach and I was like, hey, I'm going to enter the portal. So he was like, can I ask you why? And I was like, yeah, we had no pitching coach. So yeah, that was an interesting conversation, very tough conversation. I got off the phone and I was just bawling again because I'm like, man, I just quit baseball and I'm never going to play baseball again. And then actually he asked me like, because I told him I was going to go to GCU and just be a student. And he was like, are you going to play baseball at GCU? And I was like, no, like, I'm not going to play baseball. So Didn't happen like that. Kept working out at that same place, and they were like, hey, like, if you really want to play, like, we think we can get you there. I was like, okay, like, just do whatever you can. And then so this Rocky scout who comes in a lot and really cool, he went to my high school, but I never knew him. Like, called some area scouts here and just, like, got me connected with Wally and Banny, the head coach and pitching coach here. And, like, they called me and they were like, hey, yeah, we'll give you a spot on our fall roster. Like, we can see if you make the team or whatever. And then, yeah, that's how it happened. Really cool experience. Like, my story is completely different than anybody else's on the team. Got here. I absolutely love it here. Like, I could not imagine myself anywhere else.
Well, you were planning on coming here as a student. I mean,
exactly.
Had you heard of the campus before? Like, had you heard of the school? Like, well,
Yeah.
What was the reasoning? What was the reasoning you were going to GCU?
So my best friend from high school, Easton Allwood, love the guy. Actually, crazy story of how I met him. My high school baseball coach's daughter is now engaged to him. But junior year of high school, I was going to prom with some girl, and, like, she was best friends with Bella, Easton's fiance, and I just happened to be in that same group, and Easton and I sat next to each other at dinner, and we've been, like, best friends ever since.
Man, that's cool.
It's actually crazy. Yeah, so they were the reasons I wanted to come here, and then I have another friend who goes here from Kansas City, and just, yeah, couldn't be any happier here. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, man, that is unique. Like, some people are just, immediately commit one place or the transfer portal. Maybe a Coach Wallace is like, hey, I want that guy, but you were really, like, at a point where you were going to stop playing baseball.
Yeah.
Where did your faith, get tested in that moment? What was your faith walk like in that moment? Because clearly there had to have been some trust in God, like, that you were going to be able to do this without baseball. You're going to be able to do this life without baseball, something you hadn't done since you were 3 years old.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is not going to take place for another couple of years or however long your baseball career can go here. But what was that piece, or what was that testing of your faith in that season?
Yeah, there was just a lot of prayer in that season. And then, like, when my high school baseball coach, I called him. I was like, hey, do you think I should do this? Like, I don't know. Like, you're a mentor to me. I need some, like, advice here about what I should do because I trust you a lot. And he was like, you definitely should go to GCU. Like, my daughter loves it. And if I was in your place and GCU was, like, around back in my day, like how it is now, he was like, I definitely would have quit basketball and gone there.
Wow.
And, yeah. So there were some things that led up to it. Like, I took 2 weeks off and just played a few rounds of golf, which was fun. And then Easton, Bella, and a few other friends went to Seaside, Florida, and it was just, like, an amazing experience. There's this one day that we were there. This is actually a crazy story. Like, I texted the guy about it, and I was like, so we're walking back to Easton's place, and we decided to just go, like, because he lives, like, 10 or 12 miles outside of Seaside. And we get to this one shopping area, and we see this dude, bleach blonde hair, Maverick City Music t-shirt. I was like, oh, this dude's, like, stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
He was super cool. I don't know why we didn't talk to him then. And then we saw him another place where we went to eat, which was, like, a little bit closer to Seaside. We're like, oh, there he is again. And then we get in downtown Seaside, and we see him sitting outside of some shop that we went to. And we're like, okay, he's reading his Bible. Like,
Third time.
We're going to go talk to him. And it was like, I remember the time. It was 2:03. We went to talk to him.
PM or AM? Or?
PM. Okay. Not AM. Yeah, no. That's way past
Late
my
night
bedtime.
Bible reading, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to set the scene here.
Yeah.
Go talk to him. I'm like, hey, like, we like your shirt. Maverick City's cool. Like, what are you doing out here? We've seen you 3 different places. He's like, I'm at a church camp. I was on a prayer walk until 2 p.m. I wasn't talking to anybody until 2 p.m. And we saw him at 2:03. So, like, the first 2 times we didn't talk to him, it was before
He wasn't
2.
going to.
Yeah, which kind of crazy. And then we were like, oh, like, do you need a ride back to your place? Because he said it was like 15 miles he'd walked. He's like,
Jeez.
Wow.
He was like, yes, I've been praying that someone would just take me back. And it was like me and 4 of my friends, and we took him back. And funny enough, our Bible study that summer was reading Acts. I was like, I'm going to bet you're reading Acts. And he was like, yep. I was like, that cannot be a coincidence right there.
Did you just have a hunch? Or?
No, I was like, everything here has been a coincidence.
Yeah,
You've
might as
gotta
well,
be
right?
So you
reading
just were
Acts.
like, I'm just going to
Throw it out there.
We're in the car. I was like, are you reading Acts? He was like, yeah. And then, so I love to play basketball.
Yeah.
Easton loves to play basketball. We're like, if you have access to a basketball court, like, we're down. Like, we need to go hoop while we're on vacation. He was like, yeah, like, we'll text you. And so we made this big group chat. And he's there at this camp, and he's like, we're free. Like, we're hooping. Like, runs right now. And so we go, and I don't remember what happened, but, like, we became super close with them. And this girl who goes here, Bethany, her boyfriend at the time was in Florida, and, like, all the girls there knew him. And I was like, this day could not get any crazier. It was awesome. And so, I texted him about it the other night, and he was like, dude, that's super cool. Like, I tell everybody all the time, like, how God provided. He said, let's see here.
Go to the archives.
Yeah.
Got to.
Pull up the receipts.
This was yesterday. He said, that's incredible because I tell people about that all the time just because the Lord provided in such a clear and cool way. You guys, like, with you guys, and just overall such a cool time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is cool
that
because
was awesome.
sometimes you could be the bleach blonde, I don't know his name, or you can be the person who kind of answers the prayer for
Mhm.
somebody. So cool that, God was kind of sticking him out like a sore thumb for you for a reason. And eventually you're like, all right, 3 times, like I've got to say something.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
So-
God knows how to speak to our heart, and he clearly, like, just through this person, like, what an incredible story. I
Yeah.
think even about how we met, Braden, and like how
Yeah.
how that worked out. We were next door neighbors freshman year and never met before, and all of a sudden this beautiful thing comes from, like, something that neither of us, that would be viewed as random, right? But we know that's the Lord's provision, and just it's crazy how he works in those ways. We're just simply going through life, and he will just put people in our hearts and in our path for a reason, and with a plan and a purpose. And it's a pretty awesome story of it right there.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So since being at GCU, I know you and I have kind of discussed this a little bit, but how has your faith been integrated in your athletic career? How has it grown? I know you guys have Bible studies on the team, and
Yeah.
It's awesome.
we have a past guest, Dustin Crenshaw, and I know he was a big part
Oh, yeah.
of you and your upbringing here at GCU too. So elaborate on that.
Yeah, Dustin was a huge help. Definitely, like, showed me around, got me connected with the right people here. Because, just FCA is really cool. I love FCA. Kelly's great. Everyone there. And then we had a Bible study last year at Dustin's house. And it was good. Like, 10 people. It was super, small.
Intimate.
Yeah, intimate. And everyone shared, like, everything about what was going on in their life, which was super cool.
Yeah.
And that's one difference about FCA this year. Like, you weren't there last year, but
Yeah.
it was super small, like 15 to 20 people. Like, you got to know everybody individually.
Well,
And I like that, but then also you want more people there from every sports team. Like, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want everyone there. I want everyone from every sports team there so that we have to get a bigger room or, heck, go to the arena.
Why do you think it's like almost 80 people
Yeah,
sometimes?
it's
Why is
nice.
it so much bigger this year?
I don't know.
Because God's
Yeah,
working in
seriously.
athletics.
sowing
man.
seeds.
Yeah,
Come
That's
on.
awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it's like triple the size. That first night, there were at least 100
Yeah,
people
we didn't
there.
have enough chairs for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, can you guys describe, like, honestly, as a not college athlete, how is FCA structured, and maybe to any Christian athlete who maybe hadn't made the step, what would be
Sure.
maybe a good reason to try it out?
You want to take the lead here?
Sure. So, like, Kelly's the leader, and then you have Corey, who's
Sports chaplain
okay.
for
Yeah.
the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Shout
work.
out
Corey.
Yeah,
Corey.
he's been on.
Yep.
So, yeah, they work alongside one another.
hmm And then we have leaders, who it's like people who are here and playing sports, and then, like, every week somebody new shares their testimony or
Yeah.
Coach.
lesson. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like
Who did last week?
Wait, last week?
So it was supposed to
Yeah.
be Carter.
No, it wasn't Carter.
So it was
Dustin.
It was Carter's
Shout out
night,
Carter.
but he got sick,
Oh,
unfortunately.
shoot. So he'll do this week then.
Speedy recovery.
Hope you
Carter.
get, hope you get better.
But so then Dustin.
Shout out
filled.
Dustin.
Come on.
And yeah, we're gonna bring up Dustin again, but he's part of the staff at
Yeah.
FCA,
Yep.
so he's been fortunate enough to work alongside all the athletes that he knows well. So
Yeah.
I'm just messing around. I just like shouting people out. It's
Yeah.
funny.
we do a lot of shout outs. But yeah, the only thing I would add there is it's really cool because it isn't like a typical I don't like throwing this word around a lot, but like churchy vibe. It's very much like interactive. We'll break out in like different groups, and who's ever leading the message will give us some questions. We'll talk about, and then we'll come back into a group, see what everyone's thinking, and it's really cool to see how God's working on all the different teams on campus, to see different people's stories.
Yep.
Some coaches will come in and they'll just like fire us up and give us something to think and take with us for the week. And then one of the best parts too is there's crumble cookie every
Yeah.
week. So
Coach Shaw. I love it when Coach Shaw comes and speaks.
yeah, dude, he crushed it. And
That was the one week I had to go to North Phoenix and listen to Cooper speak, which was really good. But
yeah,
hate to miss Coach Shaw.
He had to go to North Phoenix to listen.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Yeah, didn't have to. Wanted to be there.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course you did.
Let's see. Yeah, so it's really nice to be able to like talk to people who are in your same situation. Like
Yeah.
we're all going through the same thing as college athletes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Like highs and lows. So that's nice. I love that about it because it's really relatable. Like when one person says something, it's like, oh yeah, I'm struggling with that
Yeah.
too. Or
Yeah,
Yeah. That was actually going to kind of my next point of like, how do you separate as an athlete, right, your identity like off the field and your performance on the field? Have you found success in certain ways, or what does that kind of look like in your life?
this is actually crazy because the first thing I thought of, I was at Unified at Grace Community, and someone came up to me and was like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so from this sports team. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, that's not how I would ever introduce myself to somebody. Be like, I was thinking, like, what would I say? I'd be like, oh, I'm Brock Toney. I'm a child of God. Like,
sure.
something just not
Yeah, yeah.
sports team. What was the question?
Just how do you kind of separate the identity off the field from the performance on? I know that's probably a lot of pressure to perform on the field.
Yeah.
Just to kind of the reassurance of knowing like I'm a child of God no matter what. How do you kind of keep that mentality at the top?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Freshman year it was tough. Definitely going through lots of struggles and just being young and not knowing what college is about.
Yeah.
Totally.
Last year, though, got better throughout the year. Found better community here. And I played pretty good for the first two games again. And then it was okay the rest of the year. Definitely better than the year before. There was one game that sticks out in particular. It was like Oregon. I gave up 5 runs in 1 inning. They were really good. Made it to a super regional.
Yeah.
I came back to the dugout and I was like, dang, that sucked, but that's over. And it was like, it doesn't matter what I go do out there. Like, Jesus loves me the exact same. So,
Yeah.
Come
Totally.
on.
yeah.
So it seems like you had a foundation before coming to college. Where did that come from? Is that something that your family instilled in you? What did that walk look like, and where did it begin?
Yeah, it began right when I came out of the womb. My parents are Christians. Yeah. Brought me to church every Sunday. Definitely made it part of the home. But didn't really start making it my own until probably junior year of high school when I found a good group of friends that I still have. Hung out at Easton's house a lot and just didn't do like the normal high school things. Just hung out, pool party.
Wait, so you didn't do the normal high school thing, but you did the pool party?
It would make sense. Like pool
Pick
party.
the
The dry pool party.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because
Is there something that you felt kind of that was different? Like, I mean, I think for a lot of us, we all grew up going to church in some capacity.
Yeah.
And at least for me, it was like I'm a Christian, absolutely. Come to find out, there was so much more to know about God once I finally decided to like really personally get to know Him.
Yep.
When was that moment for you? It sounds like junior year. Was there
Yeah.
a specific moment you could point out, or was there just just kind of this overwhelming God moment and relationship that was being built?
If I had to point that out, it would definitely be like okay, I'm going to go to GCU. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
I'm not going to play baseball. Like, that's over. I
Yeah.
just want to pursue God and just be a student and, like, have fun with people and have a great community. Because here it's like we got no frats or sororities. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's like
FCA is your frat.
people will be
Yeah.
like, come to me and be like, oh, where do you go to church? And, like, that's their first question.
Right.
It's like, that's kind of your home. And
Yeah.
you
True.
get to know people like that. And I love that. I could not see myself anywhere else. Like, my sister goes to TCU. She tells me about it all the time. It's like, man, that just sounds terrible.
Really?
I do not want to go there. No. Yeah, but she's in a sorority, so it's like
Okay.
not attractive.
Yeah, I know. I think it's cool, kind of going back. Like, you had to, in essence, and wanted to at one point, like, give up baseball,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so that, you know, you kind of had your life and started to understand maybe what that would look like without baseball. And that, you know, I know that's a big thing. Like, for a lot of us, we all have something that's kind of our treasure in our heart, right? That we want to hold on to so tightly. And sometimes it's really difficult to let it go. And fortunately, you didn't have to. You actually just got to learn from that experience.
But
yeah.
it was really difficult to be
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And ultimately, it's like everybody's going to have that moment at some point. But it's like as we start to, you know, like right now, the best way to prepare for that, like all of us, is just to keep the Lord first. Because then when that thing gets taken away, we still have our number one, right? Like that's the really cool thing about this is this walk is rewarding in multiple levels because his love's never going to fade and his love's never going to go away. And there's so many trophies and so many things that we can win, you know, on this side of eternity and so many great things. But man, his love is like that is the ultimate prize. And it's cool that we can just sit here and have that no matter what happens tomorrow, the next day, whatever's taken away, you know. It truly is always his. So.
Here's a crazy comparison, right? I want to think of a
what?
Bible story
Go crazy.
where Abraham was asked to sacrifice
Yeah.
his son, Isaac.
Isaac. Yep.
That's much different, much crazier than your story,
Yeah.
but
Bigger stage.
there's you were kind of in a moment where it's like I'm feeling like I need to give up the thing that has gotten me to where I am,
Yeah.
maybe my identity. Like
Yeah.
I am a baseball player.
Yep.
And he got you to a point where you were willing to give that up, and then he still gave it to you after you showed him that you were willing to do that. I think that's kind of a cool comparison to where Abraham got to that moment where he was going to get rid
100%.
of the thing he loved the most,
Yep.
and God said, "I just wanted to see your obedience."
Yeah.
But you keep this, like this, it still holds a purpose in your life, and now let's go to this next chapter, which is GCU.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like, GCU places you on a summer team.
Yeah.
So this summer I got placed in somewhere in Tennessee, East Tennessee.
Interesting.
East-
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah, I
know.
forgot to tell you
Yeah.
that. He was in
Yeah.
Greenville.
Yeah,
That's
Greenville.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and it was really cool because, like, going there, you're like, okay, it's just a bunch of dudes from D1, really good schools, and you're like, there's no way that any of the team, like, has any faith or anything, like, any relationship with God. And I get there, and it's Carson Ohl, who used to go here,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
and, like, I got there a week late just because I was so tired from all the baseball. And we had a team Bible study, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, was not expecting that at all. And so I go there. There's, like, 5 people. It's like we have 30 people on the team. And so then Brady Francisco, who went here last year, was also on my team. Halfway during the year, Carson left because he was at his innings cap or whatever.
Okay.
And so it was like, who's going to take over? And it was like, oh, man, I got to step up here. Like, me and Brady started leading.
Okay.
And it was really cool to see. Like, it is a mission field. Like, I didn't want to go at all. Didn't want to be there. I just wanted to go home and be with my friends all summer. But it was really good for me. I played good, which is another benefit.
Yeah.
And I got to see people grow, which was amazing. And I think it helped me more than it helped anybody else there. just
Man.
like seeing what Jesus can do and like planting a seed and like getting people connected, because there's a few kids who like didn't know, and we were like, oh, come on, like 7 p.m. like let's just go. And starting to see people like starting to grow in college, and people going to FCA and just like texting me like, how you doing, like
Yeah.
where you at. It's really cool. Yeah.
Super cool, man. I mean, so you get baseball back, and God uses it as an avenue for you to speak to others,
That's right.
growing your leadership skills, which is now leading you into FCA this year. And this is a cool story, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's again not normal, which is everybody's story is different, but it's cool how he's using you. And I think, in my mind, very obvious that he is putting things in your life for a reason, and he still is making sure that you're putting him at the pedestal,
Yeah.
which is
It
awesome.
really makes me excited about this summer, knowing
Yeah.
like, that was my first year of summer ball. So this year I'm excited. I know what I want to do, like getting some FCA Bibles ready for when I drive all the way
man.
to Cape
Come
Cod.
on. Yeah,
I know
cool.
nobody on my team, so I'm just going to be like, hey, like Bible study this time. Let's go.
What an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the Lord has given you so much confidence with it too, of an excitement. That's the cool thing is, you know, when we serve and when we give, there's this amazing thing that happens. It's like we are actually the one being poured into in a way. You know, I'm sure you guys have experienced that of
Sure.
like, man, it's like, I don't know if I want to do this, and this might take a lot out of me. But in reality, it's like almost this rewarding thing of how the Lord kind of designs it. Of it fills me up, you know, of having these type of conversations and leading Bible studies or whatever it may be. There's just so much fruit to it for your own personal gain, and you know, not to mention all the other people you see growing in their faith. It's just you get to see faith come alive in those settings, and
100%.
especially, I mean, seeing the hand of God move in other people, especially even who don't even know the Lord. Like that, just for me, it's just such a confirmation of how good is the God I follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It's like indescribable.
Yeah,
Just like seeing the transformation of people.
100%, 100%.
Well, before we start wrapping up here, I know one area of conversation that we wanted to bring up was pretty timely, and you're going through some injuries with your throwing arm right now. As we've discussed, your faith has been tested and grown with baseball possibly being taken away, and this is another obstacle in the road.
Oh, yeah.
What's your mindset at right now? Where are you working through with the Lord right now with all this?
It ups and downs, definitely. Like, I'm definitely nervous because I've never been injured before, and the recovery time on this is really scary. Like,
Can you tell them the specifics?
so it's my elbow hurts. We don't know what it is. Getting an MRI sometime next week, but it feels horrible. Like my UCL. That's what I think it is. Jordan, our trainer, won't tell us or won't tell me. He's like, you're just like over whatever. Like, you're overthinking it. I was like, no, I'm not. This hurts really bad. So yeah, I think it's UCL. That's not good. I can either get the internal brace, PRP, or full Tommy John surgery. PRP is like just a shot, and they inject a ton of blood in your elbow and other stuff. And one of my friends on the team actually got it.
Really?
And he like was not able to straighten his arm for the first week, and it hurts really bad. So I hope it's not that one. I hope it's none of them.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And then internal brace, they just go in and like fix it up, and the recovery is 6 months, which I would still get to go to Cape Cod, which would be really cool. I've been dreaming about that since I was a kid. You hear about that all the time.
Cape Cod's awesome, yeah.
And then the other one, which I'm very scared of, is full Tommy John, which would be 12 to 15 months. And I could get the internal brace too. They take a ligament from your arm, or if you don't have it from your arm, it's from your hamstring, which is what Grant Richardson on the GCU baseball team got. And yeah, 12 to 15 months. They go in, they drill into your bone, they rewrap your UCL.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
We'll be praying for you, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
absolutely.
this is about as scary of an injury as the potential's not great. But it seems like you have a decent headspace about it, and ultimately it's good to know at least from our side, I'm guessing, and hopefully for your friends and family as well, that you have the right headspace and the right foundation.
And if I were to get surgery, I'd hopefully go to Arlington, see my sister. My parents would come down. That's a bonus.
Sure.
And just like getting to talk to people who I don't normally talk to, because the injured guys don't really talk to anybody. They talk to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So getting to talk to them has been nice. I've made a few more friends, like gotten to know people more. And then I'll talk to our strength coach, Dupe, a lot, Caleb Dupree. And I actually talked to him the other day about Cooper Neville wrote on an index card. He was like, write down your goals for the semester, baseball goals, and like life goals. And one of his goals for Dupe was like, get Dupe baptized. And I was like, he brought that up to me, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like,
That's really cool.
I didn't know you were actually like thinking about that. And so he was like, yeah, I'm from South Louisiana. Like, I'm just trying to get back into it. I've been out of it for so long. And I was like, okay. Like,
hey, that sounds like that's something that can keep you busy.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not baseball, man.
Yep.
100%.
It was like, yeah, definitely. If you have any questions or anything, like, I'm going to be praying for you and reaching out to you, like, making sure you're doing good. And, yeah,
Totally.
For sure. I mean, I think about the scripture in Isaiah. It's like God's ways are higher than our ways. And so while it may look like this injury can only be seen as a bad thing, I mean, if one person comes to know the Lord, I mean, that is forever, right?
It's eternal, yeah.
So, I mean, of course, hoping for the best, but obviously the Lord's gonna use you in whatever way, he sees fit. And that's the cool thing. It seems like you have kind of this open hand about it, right? And, the Lord gives and takes away. We've seen that in your own story already.
Yeah.
And so I think you're like Dorman, you said, headspace is in the right spot, and certainly you've experienced a little bit of this before. So this won't be kind of a first time, although it is an injury, first time, kind of the thought of baseball not being there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited, obviously, to see what you do, and hopefully this is just a quick blip in the road, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And it's been really good this year. Cooper, Carson Oland, and I have been every morning we have weights at 6 a.m. It's brutal. I'm like an old man. I go to bed at like 9:30, wake up at 5.
It's almost your bedtime.
It is, yeah. But we get up even earlier and we watch the sunrise and just read our Bibles on top of the Halo parking garage, which has been really cool.
Good for you guys, yeah.
And then we'll go to GCBC or something after and prepare Bible study for the week, or just like.
And this is all before 6 a.m. weights.
Well, the GCBC's after.
Okay.
So it's
still great morning.
It's early. It's a good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely gets me like in the right headspace. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I would just say, root for you, man. Like, hopefully, I'm hoping you're on the baseball field this year. Of course, I know you are as well. That it's a great thing. It's a great team to be a part of here at GCU. But if you're not, I feel like there's a lot of things you're still going to be able to do to impact that team.
Absolutely.
And I just challenge you to not feel disconnected, but stay connected and be that faith leader, be that guy that everybody can go to on the team. Mm-hmm. And when they are potentially struggling, if you're off the field, you can just be that person that they can go to. So as a GCU baseball fan, like, it's exciting to know that this team has you, and
100%.
Hopefully, as David said, that you can turn whatever God's going to do here in this next month in your life around for whatever he needs you to do here. So rooting for you.
Hopefully it's nothing and the MRI comes back clean and
hopefully,
yeah. That'd be cool.
But I want to add on to what Norman's saying. I had one of my mentors just emphasize the importance of the roles we play on our teams and the light that we bring to that team. And although it's fun to compete well and to perform well and to be one of the contributors, like, ultimately, what's more important for eternal implications? Like, what's going to stand the test of time, right? The work that we do for God's kingdom. And so, not to discredit the work that any other players do on the team or contribute, but the most important role perhaps may be yours, and bringing that faith to the team, bringing that light. And so, just something for you to hold on to and cling to, brother.
Yeah, there's a saying I like. It's be where your feet are.
Yep.
So, like,
he loves that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Hurt. I could just be mad about it, or I could just be a light and have a good attitude and lift other people up.
That's right.
I know you'll do the latter. So,
that's right.
Again, we'll be praying for you. and we'll keep you guys updated on Brock's year here. Hopefully he'll be playing baseball, but if not, just know he'll still be making an impact. Brock, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks
This is
for
a
having
fun
me.
conversation.
Yeah.
Glad we got to chop it up about some MLB. And we got 3 new fans here
Absolutely.
for your baseball
Absolutely.
career.
Thank
so
you, guys.
appreciate you
Of course.
coming on.
Yep.
All right, with that being said, we're going to wrap things up here for episode number 37. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And go follow Brock. Go follow him on Instagram because why not? And
Tap right.
That-
I just did today for full
Oh,
transparency,
boy.
so
Oh boy.
yeah, and that'll
Hey,
be your
David.
You got a new
opportunity
follower
to
today.
follow him along. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you guys for watching. We love you. Until next time, peace out.